Okay, great. Well, hey, everybody, this is Lisa from It's Not That Hard to Homeschool and True North Homeschool Academy. And I am here today with a special guest, Deborah Burns of Medical Transcription. And we are excited to share some opportunities with you you might not have considered as you homeschool. But first, let me introduce Deborah. She owns Medical Transcription Service. She has been in business for 35 years and she has 42 MTs working for them from home. Many of them are home educators. She was a homeschooled mom and participated in home education conferences, and she enjoys working with home educators. And we are here today to talk to you about this exciting opportunity for you and your family while you're homeschooling. So, Deborah, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So let's start with homeschooling because that's like the common denominator among all of us. How long did you homeschool? What did you love about it?
Well, it's kind of interesting because I was not in favor of home education. I'd seen some of the excesses, and my son attended an amazing private school, Christian private school nearby. My husband taught there.
Oh,
It was a great fit. And then, around sixth or seventh grade, he came to my husband and me and asked if we could homeschool. And I said, absolutely not. I said, I don't think I'm suited for this. I like teaching adults. I'm really busy. I travel a lot. My husband wasn't for it. And my son knows us well. He said, so let's just do an experiment. Try it for a year. Do the SATs afterwards. If I do better with the SATs than I've done in the past, then we stick with homeschooling.
wow.
If
That
I
was very
don't, I
thoughtful.
go back to the private school.
Yeah, that was a
Put a
very
lot of
thought
thought
out.
into this, and he knows us well. It was so
Yeah.
funny. I was so skeptical. It was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Friends now. He's in his 30s. Those years were incredibly precious. I would not trade them for anything. I travel a lot to homeschool conventions.
Yeah.
I speak for colleges and universities about medical transcription. He traveled with me.
Oh,
We
fun.
took trains from Florida all the way across the US toward the northern part of the US, back down here to Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow.
We've been all over the US. He knows all the capitals of the United States because he's been there. And of course, being a homeschool mom, he had to write a book report on each of them. It's been a joy. I've asked him, would you ever like to go back to a traditional school? He said, absolutely not. It was the best thing for him too. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's just been a joyful journey.
Yeah. So wonderful. Were you a medical transcriptionist before you started homeschooling?
I was.
Okay.
I was in corporate America for years. It was stressful. You know, you had to dress up. That was the back in the days when you have to wear pantyhose and
Yes.
yes. Remember
High
those days?
heels.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, and long hours, and it was not easy. And then my doctor asked me if I would like to type some documents for him. It was a lot harder than I thought, but the rest is history.
Wow.
So I started my business, started working for a couple of small doctors, then got busier than I could handle, and we still are. That's one of the reasons I hope that today I can talk to people about becoming a medical transcriptionist and maybe working with us.
Awesome. So this was kind of a natural progression from the life that you had pre-homeschooling and from your previous professional work. And you started a company, it sounds like, and now you're actually looking for people to work for you as medical transcriptionists. Do I have all that straight?
Exactly. You've got
Yeah.
it perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Tell us what a medical transcriptionist is.
Well, we listen to an audio file that comes over the internet, so it's a recording. We type what we hear. We transcribe or type very complex technical stories about people. So it's stories. It's not medical billing or coding or dealing with numbers or patients or collections. We type stories. The content of the stories is very complex, very technical. Every other word will have 3 or 4 syllables in it and wouldn't even be recognizable to a healthcare professional. So we are medical language specialists.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So this might really appeal to people who love languages or love coding or puzzles, right?
Yes, it is, and it's especially good fit for home educators. I
Okay.
don't want to slam publicly educated young people, but When I get a home educator, whether it's adult or a teen,
Mhm.
they're accustomed to working independently, which is what we do. That's not a skill that most publicly educated young people have.
Mhm.
Typically, home educators are better with language, with
Mm.
English, with spelling. They're going to know the basics of FOWL and FOUL. They're not going to get those confused.
Yeah.
Our home educators are uniquely suited for this.
Interesting. So you mentioned adults or teens. So teens can do this kind of work too?
Absolutely. Now, my personal opinion is it's not suitable for very young teens.
Okay.
The things that we type on, autopsies and so on,
Yeah.
can be a little disturbing.
Yeah.
But I've had older teens work for us, most of them home educators, and they excel.
Okay. So tell us what the life of a medical transcriptionist could look like. I mean, do you have a typical medical transcriptionist that works for you that does so many hours a week and that kind of thing? Or could you create that scenario for us?
Yeah, it's all over the place. So some of our people work part-time, some people work full-time.
Mhm.
Typically, one doctor talking to one of us each day keeps one of us typing with our hands on the keyboard for 1 to 2 hours a day.
Wow.
Doctors typically dictate on a daily basis, every weekday, not on weekends. We have 24 to 48 hours to return the work. So
Okay.
we receive an audio file, we have a day or two to get it back.
Mhm.
That's a good fit for home educators because
Yeah.
we can work in and around home education.
Right.
So we can work whatever hours we choose.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. And so if they're doing 1 to 2 hours a week, they've got headphones on, they're listening, and they're basically transcribing it to a written product, correct?
Yes. And you can use headphones. I don't like headphones anymore. I like the little, it's almost like a tiny little wire that
Yeah.
just sits on the edge of my ear. And that's
Uh-huh.
what I use.
Okay.
Nobody can hear the dictation, but I can still hear surrounding noises. That
Yeah.
was important when my son was very small.
Yes. So why don't, can I just ask this might not seem related, but why don't doctors just use a program like Dragon or something to
They
transcribe?
do.
Okay.
Sometimes they do.
Okay.
And voice recognition makes grievous, litigious, life-threatening errors. So if a
Uh,
doctor does use voice recognition, their medical malpractice insurance company will require that they hire an experienced medical transcriptionist to re-listen to the dictation, look at the transcript created by voice recognition, and fix, edit, proofread all the grievous, litigious, life-threatening errors. So in addition to straight transcription, which
yeah.
is what most of us do, now there's a lot of openings for editors and proofreaders. So there's actually more work in both volume and variety today than ever before.
Wow, I'm glad I asked that question. I would never have known that, but that makes sense. So if the notes are incorrect, there's really problems, right?
They
Yeah.
are. We're not legally liable. The
Okay.
doctor is legally liable if there's a mistake.
Uh-huh.
But on the other hand, it is important that we're able to read the doctor's mind
Yeah.
and figure out what they're attempting to say
Yeah.
and not make errors.
Right, right. The other thing that's so great, besides, I mean, this sounds like a great job for a mom who's homeschooling who needs a little bit of extra cash or a lot of extra cash to get trained in this and do it. The other thing we had talked about before we did the podcast was there's really no age restrictions, which you touched on. I mean, you can be very young, you can be middle-aged, you can be elderly. But also there's no like lifting requirements. I mean, a lot of entry-level jobs for teens, they're like, you have to be able to lift 50 to 80 pounds if you're going to
Right,
go for a fast food or whatever.
absolutely. It's really nice for somebody even with disabilities.
Yeah.
We've had a paraplegic work with us for many years.
Wow.
Nancy, she was amazing.
Yeah.
So it's good for somebody who needs to be at home.
Yeah.
And most of our people, out of our 42, they're home educators. Many of them have big families. So
Yeah.
this is a really good fit for somebody who really can't work outside of the home.
Right, right. It does get more tricky to work outside the home if you have a bunch of kids, because then who's taking care of the kids and who gets dinner
Exactly.
ready and all the things. So tell us what typical training would look like. Is it months long, weeks long, years long? What does it all look like?
Typically, it's months long.
Okay.
We have to know beginning and advanced medical terminology, anatomy, pharmaceuticals, and practice on a lot of dictation by doctors, especially in the tougher specialties where we're in the greatest demand.
Okay.
We don't transcribe for chiropractors or dentists or even a lot of OBGYN. We
Hmm.
do transcribe for rheumatology, autoimmune disorders, oncology, cardiology, pathology, plastic surgery, acute care, the tougher specialties.
Okay.
And yet most training doesn't involve those tougher specialties. And that's what we need, because that's where we're used the most, is in the more complex specialties.
So this would be great for somebody in high school who really wants to go into the medical field and and wants to figure some stuff out. I mean, this would be great training for anybody going into the medical field. So when you said advanced medical terminology, AMP, are these classes you offer, or you suggest a path for people to take to become trained? How does that all work?
It's something that we offer.
Okay.
So we offer a course called Medical Transcription A to Z. We hire 100% of the students who successfully complete the course.
Wow.
Successfully means that you finish all the dictation in the course without a lot of careless typos.
Okay.
That's not difficult to do because there's an answer key. So it's impossible to make careless typos. Once in a while, I come across people who can't spell words like of, the, and.
Yeah.
Typically, those aren't home educators, but
Yeah.
they're out there.
Yeah.
And in those cases, that is simply not a good fit for what we do.
Yeah, yeah. So do they have to go back? I mean, if you're transcribing, I'm imagining you're typing, and then are you going back and correcting anything? Or are the medical transcriptionists double checking their own typing? Is
We
that how that
should.
works?
Some
Yeah.
of us proofread as we go,
Okay.
have a foot pedal, or we can use function keys on our keyboard.
Yeah.
So we can stop and start, rewind, fast forward, slow down, speed up.
Nice. Yeah. This sounds like it would be a great fit for somebody who's kind of an introvert, who is really curious about people, but doesn't always need to be around people.
Yeah,
Is this a good job for that kind of personality?
it is. It is. And for those of us who do like to get out once in a while, I go out to lunch a couple times a week with my son.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I got my quiet time. I don't have
Yeah.
to be on the phone trying to sell things to people or deal with patients. It's quiet,
Yeah.
interesting work. I've been doing this a long time,
Yeah.
and it always holds my interest.
Yeah. Oh, and I bet you would learn a lot. I mean, do you have hobbies like like the medical crime shows? Is that something
I do. I hadn't thought of that.
that's interesting? What are your favorites?
Well, I like British TV. So I
Yes.
like Masterpiece Theater, BritBox, Acorn, Midsummer Murders,
Uh,
Sister Boniface. Oh, Father Brown. Yeah,
yes. Yeah. I love a good mystery.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your favorite part of the job? What do you love about it?
Oh, there's so much I like. But today I like getting up very early, getting my cup of coffee, finishing all my work first thing in the morning, and then going Christmas shopping or doing some errands the rest of the day because I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to work at 10 o'clock at night. I do have some night owls working for me.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that I can get up early in the morning when the household is quiet, have my coffee, have my prayer time,
Yeah.
and then start work and be done by
Yeah.
noon if I wish.
Nice. And for those people who are night owls, they can wait till everybody goes to bed and work for a
Absolutely.
couple hours. There's so much flexibility in this job, and it sounds like it does take a lot of thought. I mean, it's not just like anybody can do this kind of job. What is the pay rate for somebody who goes into medical transcription? Is there like a range?
It depends on what you do. If you work on site, typically you're paid by the hour
Mhm.
with great benefits. When we work from home, we're an independent contractor.
Okay.
That means that we're working our own time with our own equipment. And in most cases, working from home, we are paid by the line type.
Okay.
So working with a service like ours, you'll average 8, 9, or 10 cents a line. If you work directly with your own clients, it's better money than working with a service like mine.
Yeah.
You'll make 11, 12, 13 cents a line. So
Oh,
let's just go with 10. Let's just say 10 cents a line. That's somewhere
okay.
in the middle, a little bit more working on your own, a little bit less with a service.
Yeah.
It's just easier math. There's an average of 40 lines per page. That's about $4 a page. A good medical transcriptionist, once they've gotten over the learning curve, it takes us all with a new client, does about 10 pages in an hour at $4 a page. But we use macros. So when I type on my keyboard LPA, my screen expands to lungs are clear to percussion and auscultation. It's a very
Wow.
common phrase.
Okay.
So you can do that through your basic word processing software. It doesn't cost any money. That's going to double your productivity. In
Wow.
that case, is you're going to transcribe about 15 to 20 pages in an hour. So we can make a healthy income when we're highly skilled and well trained.
Yeah, that is a pretty healthy income. I mean, you're talking like $60 an hour possibly.
Yes. Yes. And then we
Okay.
work from home. So we have those great tax advantages. We need to pay
Yes.
very little in state and federal taxes because we can write off just about everything.
Yeah, that's actually really great money, not to have to get dressed up in pantyhose. I don't think anybody wears them
Yes.
anymore, but
Oh,
but gas time and eating out and all
yes,
that kind of stuff. This is a great,
exactly.
I would think this would be a great part-time job for a college student even, you
It
know,
is.
better than fast food. I did work in the restaurant business for a while and it's also greasy. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sound like there's much grease involved here. I love it. Okay, so what are I mean, who is your ideal person who works that you would hire? Like if you could just think of my perfect person that I want to work for me, what do they look like?
I need somebody with common sense and a good work ethic.
Oh,
I don't, yeah, I don't follow up every couple hours saying, get the work done, get the work done, get the work done. I trust you to have it done by tomorrow or the next day.
yeah.
I need common sense.
Yes.
If the doctor says I've given them 40,000 units of insulin, oh, no, 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 no. Leave a blank, write a note
Yeah.
to the doctor,
Yeah.
catch them. I
Yes.
need common sense. I need people who can think.
Yes.
So I can teach everything else.
Yeah.
I cannot teach common sense and a good work ethic.
Yeah, those are great. I mean, the thing I keep talking about to parents is your kids need work and life skills just as much as subject matter skills. I mean, subject matter skills, that's like our bread and butter. That's what we do. But the personal, interpersonal skills, if your kids don't have that, the subject matter is almost like it's almost secondary, you know what I mean? Yeah. How long does your program take to get through?
If you spend about 20 hours a week, it'll take about 6 months. Now,
Okay.
that's a broad general average. It's been
Yeah.
around for 20 years. Some of our people go through in just a couple of months. We ask that you finish within 3 years. It
Okay.
doesn't take 3 years, it just takes a few months. But if you have to set it aside for time and come back to it later, that's okay too. So you
Yeah.
have plenty of time.
Right, right. Okay, so that's actually really doable. And what is the average cost of the program?
Well, it depends. If you attend one of our webinars, you receive a huge discount.
Okay.
Most training programs run about $4,000 and don't include a job.
Yeah,
And there's a tough catch 22 in this field. You can't get work unless you've already been a good medical transcriptionist.
yeah,
So you can go through an in-depth program and no one will hire you because everybody requires work experience.
right.
Means you can be a great doctor, nurse, phlebotomist, x-ray technician, and you can't work as a medical transcriptionist.
Yeah.
This is one of the few courses that actually includes a job. So you've
Wow.
got a job with us.
That's
We are in the
amazing.
process of raising the cost of the course at the end of January. So it'll be going up from, I think it's $2,900 to a little over $3,000. If you enroll in one of our webinars, though, you receive a huge discount, almost half off.
Wow. That's a great discount. Okay.
It is.
So you train people and you hire them. That is like a foolproof system right there.
It is. It
Okay.
is. It's a great fit.
Yeah. And so if you're hiring people, um, do you guarantee like you can work as much or a little as you want, or do you just say you're gonna start at 5 hours a week and we'll build up, or how does that work?
You can work as few or as many hours as you choose, but we always start with one small client.
Okay.
It can be overwhelming to a student to
Yeah.
suddenly land them with full-time work. It's
Yeah.
just daunting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we start with one small client. So you're going to work about an hour or so a day. Get your feet wet, get comfortable with the client, then let us know. Do you want another client?
Mhm.
That's fine. You can take on as many clients as you want.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about what we do. It's flexible.
Yeah.
So that means during some seasons of my life, like when my husband was very sick and in a care facility, I
Mm.
needed to take on extra work. I
Yeah.
had some big bills with his care. So the great thing was I could take my work with me to the care facility and work
Yeah.
alongside, yeah, his bedside
Yeah.
and take on extra work. He
Yeah.
passed away a few years ago, so
I'm
I've
sorry.
cut back. I don't have to work a 20-hour day anymore.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good because I had that option
Yeah.
during a particular season of my life.
Right. And listen, with the boomer generation aging, medical transcription is not going to, it's not going to be one of those fields that wanes. It's just going to keep expanding. Um, so tell me about the advanced medical terminology. You said a very common phrase, which is not common in my world, right? So how difficult are the medical terms? Are they pretty easy to pick up once, I mean, I guess once you're in that milieu, it starts
Yeah,
making sense.
yeah. Trying to memorize 10,000 words doesn't work well. So even though the course starts with worksheets,
Yeah.
we tell people don't memorize. The real learning comes by typing stories about people.
Yeah.
Jesus knew this well. He told stories.
Yes.
So humans are wired to identify with stories.
Yeah.
So if you're typing on stories, you learn those big long words just by getting involved in the story.
Right. Okay, so I'm just thinking like I'm just brainstorming for anybody who's really interested in writing novels or fiction. This could literally be a great place to start, you know? Like like you're
Point.
doing it professionally and you're doing it with intention and a time pressure, that kind of thing. So if you have kids who are interested in novel writing, this could literally be a great segue into that.
It could be none of that.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, this sounds like a great fit for so many homeschooling students who might not want to take out the debt of college. I mean, this is something we talk about all the time. College costs have gone up 6,000% since I was in college. 6,000, no, wait, 600%.
It's terrible. Yeah,
It's
I agree.
terrible. Yeah. So most kids graduate from college in 6 years, not four, with on average $37,000 in debt, which to most college kids when they're 20 to 24, that's like play money. They've never even taken out a car loan, most likely. This is a great way for your kids to actually pay for college, to have a really great job while they're getting through it, or even to just set them up as a career. I mean, this is to me, this is a phenomenal option for so many of our families who might not want to go directly into college. Or, we work with medically fragile kids all the time who they're just physically not able to live on their own or whatever. This could be a great place for them to just work a few hours a week, and still provide income for themselves and feel that bit of independence, you know?
Absolutely.
I love it. Anything else you want to share? This sounds like a great field, honestly. And it sounds like it's interesting work.
Well, we need more transcriptionists. So I'm hoping that we can get the word out there. We just had a couple new clients come on board. We
Uh-huh.
ran an ad in Indeed.com
Yep.
and received hundreds of resumes. Most of them had no idea what medical transcription even is.
Wow.
Many of them thought it had something to do with transportation.
Mm.
I got a lot of resumes for a transportationalist,
Wow.
confusing with medical transcription, yes.
Okay.
So I'm having a hard time getting the word out there. This is a good career,
Yeah.
and we'd love to hire you.
Tell us how you get your clients. How do you find the doctors? Are they from a certain location or all over the world?
They're all over the US.
Okay.
We mainly transcribe for American medical records. We do hire medical transcriptions in the US or Canada.
Okay.
You have to be a United States or Canadian citizen.
Okay.
We have a lovely young woman here in my office, my home-based office. She does our marketing for us.
Okay.
So she talks to doctors, she sends out flyers. A lot of our doctors come to us by word of mouth. When you've been in
Mhm.
business 35 years, you get a lot of people telling other people, and that's
Right.
gratifying. That makes it
That
nice.
is. Yeah, you have a reputation that people are going, okay, you're reliable, and that just feeds the whole system. And it sounds like you've got a really nice system where you've got a great funnel for the doctors. Now you're just looking for people to come on board to do the transcribing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to tell our listeners? I think this is an exciting career field, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking for good transcriptionists. So if you can help
Okay.
spread the word,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Even if you're not interested in medical transcription, if you refer somebody to our curriculum and they enroll in our curriculum, we send you a $50 referral fee.
Oh,
So even if
nice.
it's not a good fit for you, you know somebody who it might be a good fit.
Okay,
Refer
and I
them
will
to us.
put that information in the show notes so everybody listening can see it and find it.
Good.
So you can earn a referral fee or just take the seminar. Listen, I think half off of a $3,000 program where you can make
Yes,
$60 a day or wait or an hour is pretty crazy.
it
That
is.
return on the investment is worth really checking out.
It
So
is.
If they have questions beyond this, how should they get a hold of you? Will you give me that information so I can tell people?
Absolutely. So our
Okay.
phone number is 602-482-0782.
Okay, great.
Email is info@medtranscription.com.
Okay.
We answer phone 6 days a week. I answer email 7 days a week, even before church on Sundays.
Okay. So it's easy to get a hold of you.
It is.
Yeah, and you sound like a fun person to work for. I mean, it sounds like you know the field so well. You've created this training program so that your people who are working for you are very well equipped, and you provide opportunities for jobs right off the bat. That is a winning combo. Um, what's your favorite part about leading this team?
Oh, I've got a great administrative team. So
Awesome.
my assistant's been with us for 15 years.
Wow.
The young woman who works here in our office doing um, all of our marketing, she's been a home educator for many years.
Uh-huh.
Our bookkeepers are all Christians. That makes it nice. They're all believers.
Yeah.
A great deal of my team members are believers. So I get to work with some of the best people in the world.
I love it. Hey, who you work for makes such a big difference, doesn't it? Like if you have a team that you value and that you care about and that values you, that just makes everything better because work is such a big part of our lives. So again, I just want to reiterate, this sounds like an amazing job opportunity for home educators, people who are like underemployed. I know there's a lot of that right now, or you have, like you were talking about, a medical issue that you just got to pay off, or even for our teens to get trained in to be a medical transcription. You can work part-time, you can work full-time, you can make great pay for very low investment of money. Honestly, the return on the investment is incredible here. So please check it out. I'm going to put links to the next webinar, how you can reach Deborah by phone or email. And we'll have some extensive show notes for you to look at too. But Deborah, it's been so fun talking to you. I just really appreciate what you're doing. The medical community is just a huge community in America, and having people who are really, skilled and highly trained is so valuable for all of us who are using medical services, for sure. So
Thank you.
thanks for doing what you do, and thanks for being a guest on the podcast today. You guys, if you have any questions, you can always leave a comment. You can reach out to us on the Facebook groups or at truenorthhomeschoolacademy.com. There's a chat bot there. You can just let us know you were listening to the medical transcription podcast and want more information, and we will get that to you. All right, Deborah, thank you so much for being on the show today. I so appreciate it. And yeah, we look forward to funneling some people your way.
Good. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate this.
All right, you guys, bye everybody. We'll talk to you soon.